Hey guys, I'm typing from Trenton, Ontario, and I'm currently terrified. There has been many occurrences of things like this happening, but today is just not it. I decided I wasn't going to sleep for school the following morning, as I do sometimes. But tonight, I had a very, very odd vibe coming from my room window. I'm usually not the type to be frightened by my window, but today I just couldn't look at it, and there was a haunting feeling coming from it. I kinda brushed it off today. So I called a friend on Discord and we played some video games. Where I play video games, the window is directly behind me, and I can generally hear what's going on. About every 10 minutes I would hear a clicking noise. 2 clicks to be precise. My room is on the 2nd story, and there's not trees relatively close enough to create the noise, so each time I heard it, I would sort of try and make an excuse for it. Oh, it's a squirrel or something. Or maybe it's water. But after listening carefully each time, I came to notice that it was most definitely not that. Later on, around 3:45 a.m., my friend left the call to sleep, and I was sort of just chilling watching TikToks, and then I started hearing a rapid tapping. The tapping was so mortifyingly human that I froze and continued to listen to the tapping. I then recognized a 5-finger tapping pattern. I was so horrified. I sat for maybe 15 minutes straight, not looking anywhere but exactly where I froze. After calming myself down and finally letting myself breathe, I got up, not making eye contact with any wall or window, and I went to the room with no windows and chilled out for a bit. I finally went back to my room at around 4:50 a.m. I went and laid in bed, and as soon as my head hit the pillow, I heard muffled howling and barking coming from my forest. Usually I would just brush it off as my neighbor's dog, Layla. But it didn't sound like a dog. It didn't sound like Layla. It couldn't be wolves or coyotes, because they never cross a certain part of the forest, which is surprisingly closer to the 401 highway. At this point, I was really freaked out, and I just tried to continue my morning. That's really where the odd stuff ends for that night. But that's definitely not the first time this stuff has happened. We have a really old house. My parents think it's ghosts, as they've heard things mock them, weird laser lights being pointed around our house, whispering, black shadows hovering over my crib, and an old British lady calling out names. See, I agree with all that. But I think that this thing lurking in the forest by my window is different. Another weird thing that I've found is when we redid the insulation for my room and drywall, underneath the insulation was clothes from the 50s, old newspapers, and weird pagan signs spray painted in black, and a goat's head, and a bunch of gibberish words. We covered it up, but it sort of haunts me, you know, what lies beneath the wallpaper. I've done a little bit of research, and it seems we might have a dogman case on our hands. The evidence ranges from when I was little, age 10, and friends and I went into the forest alone at approximately 4 p.m. We saw an extremely large figure in the trees. It jumped down and we ran. But before we could really get a good look, we were already out of there. We assumed it was a bear, but I swear that was no bear. There was also a sighting in Brighton, Ontario, 10 minutes away from my current location. Though the sighting was in early 2017, it would make sense because my forest is attached to the highways, and the highway's forest, which goes to Brighton. Supposedly, the dogman taps on windows, howls and makes a ruckus in the forest, which all relates to me. And this part may sound crazy, but bear with me. These strange occurrences happened on a full moon, and haven't happened as badly since. At this point, I'm a little terrified, but at the same time, I'm extremely intrigued. This weekend, a friend and I are going up in this little tree hut we have deep in our forest. We're going to set up a camera for the night, and come back in the morning. We also plan to do this from my window at night. I'm very excited to try and catch some of the strange behavior, even if I can't catch anything this time. I'll take some photos of the forest to show you how eerie it feels in there. If anyone has any protective methods we should use when we go, please let me know. I'll keep you updated.